Afternoon, church. It's time for our weekly update. I think probably the leading story on this would be that Sean is moving on. He's going to be going to Buckhall United Methodist Church. It's a great opportunity for him, Benson, and I'm so happy for Sean and his family, but at the same time, so sad that we're not going to be working together.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to miss Sean too, and Alicia and I were talking about this, and being the pastors on staff who most recently went through this, we can honestly say you never know what God's going to work out of it and all the incredible things that God's going to work through it. And so I'm sad. People have asked. The Free Range Church podcast will continue to run with both Sean and I, so we're excited we still get to do that together. But we are also just excited for this next step in his ministry.
And it's a great opportunity and a great place to do ministry. One of the things that I wanted to let you know, speaking of ministry, is where we are with the reopening of the church. Our bishop has set out guidelines that came from a committee, and they are guidelines that are based on a certain number of people, 25 people per worship service. I'm involved with some pastors of other large churches in this area, and we're going to be sending a letter to that committee and carbon copying the bishop on that, asking for permission to open as a percentage of our seating capacity. We seat maximum capacity in this sanctuary that's behind me is about 440. We can set up chairs. We can probably do 125 per service. And if we can get to that place, we will have a very legitimate way of reopening. So folks, it's all in flux right now. I know that the bishop has heard this from several places about the percentage, having it be a percentage of capacity as opposed to an exact number. So just wanted to let you know we're in that process, making our plans. We do have a lot of things in place on making sure that people who do decide to come back to in-house worship, they will find that the building is safe, that we have taken every precaution that we can. And I was very much encouraged by the CDC saying last week that they no longer believe that transmission from surfaces is really an issue. So that will help us a great deal, feeling more comfortable.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a situation that's in flux. We just want you to know all of our pastors, our staff are working to constantly be making those adjustments and figuring out how we can reopen in whatever form that looks like. We want to remind you, though, that there are still tons of great virtual ways to connect with our church, with church community during this time. We're obviously continuing to live stream our worship. Virtual small groups are happening. We would continue to encourage you to get involved in those as those are continuing to grow and more small groups are starting. And then we want to let you know, mark it on your calendars now, on June 13th, we will be having a live streamed virtual worship night. Just to allow the spirit and attitudes of worship to flow from this building, hopefully into every single person's home. We're going to live stream it from here at the church. And whether you have it going on in the background just to fill your house with worship music, or you are in front of your TV or laptop screen singing along with us, we would love for every single person in our church community to tune into that. We'll have more information in the coming weeks, but again, mark your calendars for June 13th. That's a Saturday for our online virtual worship night. Finally,
We want to say a special message to Robin and Sean and Leighton and Jordan. We're going to miss them a lot.
For sure.
We know, though, that they're not going to be that far away. Sean and I are still going to play some golf together. It'll be great to see them from time to time. I do want to let you know that if you want to know more about being involved in a small group, and again, this is not a commitment to join one, it's just getting information. You just go to info, send an email to info@gumchurch.com, info@gumchurch.com, and we can hook you up with some of the things that we're doing. You can take a chance, you can just do it to see what you think of it, because in this time, it's a great opportunity to grow in your faith. Not just stay the same, but to become more like Christ. And also, it's a great opportunity, by the way, folks, to invite someone to come to church. Those folks that you invite to come to church don't even have to get out of their pajamas. They can sit there, they can have their coffee, and they can watch the worship service. And learn about Gainesville Church a little bit more by being there. So again, thank you for all of your patience, all you've been doing to keep Gainesville Church going. We really appreciate it. We're trying to stay in contact with everyone. So God bless.